Hi and welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. Hopefully I edited this on time and it is going up on New Year's Day, because if I can figure out how to use these apps that I'm trying to use to be more, did I put that here? Notes? Okay. I'm trying to use apps to be more organized, but I couldn't remember. I'm using OneNote because I saw this girl I work with using it and like using it really effectively, and I'm not that person. I don't actually know how it works at all, so I'm just trying to figure it out. But I have just a couple small notes because we're talking about New Year's resolutions and that I'm making some, but at the same time not making any. So I don't think I've ever talked about on YouTube. I previously just kind of had the opinion New Year's resolutions don't work. I don't think that you need a new month, a new year, whatever, to decide to change something. But at the same time, this year, I'm not making resolutions in like the traditional sense. Like people always say like they're gonna lose weight, they're gonna get in shape, they're gonna read more books. I'm trying to think of some that are not weight loss related, and I'm like coming up with nothing because that's always been like where my mind tends to go. So I have a new idea that I'm going to try this year. I'm going to do monthly resolutions. And they're not going to be big things. They're not going to be like huge overarching goals. They're just going to be things that I wanted to do anyway, and that like maybe I've been starting to try to do already, and incorporating those into healthier habits in my life. So for January, I have them written down, and I'm going to do this every single month. So my first one is to eat one fruit and one vegetable every single day. Anybody that knows me knows that like I don't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, and you might be surprised because you're like, Alex, you really like mushrooms and Brussels sprouts, and I do, but I haven't been cooking very much lately. And the thing is, I didn't grow up eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. I was a super picky eater, and I just feel like I could do a better job of trying to get in those micronutrients that do come from those foods. So I'm gonna try and get one fruit and one vegetable every day. So right now in my house, I went grocery shopping on Friday. It's Sunday right now. So I have bananas, blueberries, and apples for my fruits. And then for vegetables, I have carrots and Brussels sprouts. And then I did also buy to go with those because I don't really like all of that. Actually, like the fruits I'll eat on their own, but the vegetables, I mean, I'll eat Brussels sprouts any day. But for carrots, I did buy some hummus and some peanut butter to go with those, which I didn't realize like carrots with peanut butter are not a normal thing. They weren't for me growing up. I don't know where that came from. Ask my mom why we eat carrots with peanut butter, or at least I still do. So that's number one. Number two is to order delivery food a maximum of one time per week. With school being really busy, I definitely had weeks, like I'll have some weeks where like I started off really good actually. I was eating a lot of waffles, but I was eating like 3 meals a day. I was cooking most of them. I'd make ravioli so I could take it to work for lunch. But then as I got busier and busier, I also might order Chick-fil-A and just order a ton of mac and cheese and eat that throughout the week. So I want to limit myself to once a week. And when I do order delivery food, I do try and get enough that like I can get a couple meals out of it, but I'm going to limit it to once a week and hopefully do it well with that. And so that will not only I tend to eat better, and by better, just I have better portion control. I'm going to get more micronutrients in. And honestly, I enjoy some of the food more. If I eat at home, it's also going to save me money because it is cheaper for me to buy my groceries and cook my food, no matter how much I hate cooking, than it is for me to order delivery food. So that's number two. And number three is another one that like should be like reasonably easy, but I don't drink enough water. I literally only drink water and tea, and I drink so much tea sometimes that I don't drink enough water. So I'm gonna try and drink 2 of these a day at the minimum, because I know on days that I train, I probably actually need more than 2 of these. I walked my dogs for a half hour already today. I'm gonna go for a 30-minute zone 2 run today, and because my knee is feeling better, and then come home and do some cooking actually. So that's 3. those are just my 3 things I'm going to focus on for January. I know people put together like little spreadsheet trackers, and maybe I will just like track like whether I complete something or not. Cat's really needy. Maybe I will do that. I have nothing else to do. I'm still off work for 2 more days, and that's why I'm actually filming a lot today, tomorrow, and Tuesday to try and get ahead. So yeah, that is we're gonna do 3 resolutions this month, not just 1. But the difference between kind of like those traditional resolutions and these 3 things that I'm trying to do, first, you'll notice it's not a general goal like weight loss, better health, faster running. These are very, and I mean, it goes back to whole, like when you're a kid in school, you have to learn like smart goal setting and everything. It does go back to that. I mean, these are very specific, very measurable. I think they're all attainable. I want to do them for the whole month, and the goal is to build some healthier habits, because I also think that making sure that I do things like getting in my micronutrients, drinking plenty of water, are going to also help me with my other goals that maybe aren't so specific, because those things should hopefully help me have more energy and feel better. So that's where we are on my decision to make resolutions. And like I said, for me personally, those general resolutions, they just don't work. And so that's why I want to do this monthly and kind of reevaluate where maybe I need to make some improvements in my life, rather than just for the entire year saying I'm going to do this and going on from there. So I'm going to stop talking here because I'm going to relax a little bit longer with my animals, and then I'm going to not take any camera equipment with me because I don't want to carry it, and go for an easy run and come home and actually cook some food today, because it's been a while since, guys, I have been cooking tofu and mushrooms, and I am going to go to a grocery store actually because I need to get cheese. So I'm gonna get cheese, mushrooms, because I'm out of mushrooms because they didn't have any good ones at Kroger yesterday. So I'm gonna go get cheese and mushrooms after a run, and then I'm gonna come home and cook. And I picked a great time to stop talking because Deagle's gonna yell at me now. I'll be honest, this is take 2. I have to do take 2 a lot because dogs, and I ramble. So New Year's resolutions don't work. That is what I have said in the title of this, and this is kind of what I talked about earlier, well, sort of. And so I just kind of wanted to run through some of my thoughts and why I don't think they work, and why for someone like me who has a lot going on in addition to triathlon training and just wanting to improve my overall health, why what I'm doing will hopefully work better for me. So New Year's resolutions, the best place to start is sometimes they're too broad, or you kind of like, you want to see results really fast, and you probably shouldn't do the things that make you see results really fast. So when I was in college, I had started to lose a little bit of weight, and I decided New Year's, I'm like, okay, I'm really going to commit to this. And because I really wanted to see results all the time, I was under eating and not taking care of myself. So that's one of the reasons I think that the broad, like, I want to lose weight goals aren't always a good idea, because they're not necessarily going to teach you how to do it in a sustainable way. And there are people that can set that resolution and they will do great. I'm talking very generally, obviously, like, there are always exceptions, or there may be people that figure out what works for them. I'm just speaking from my own experience and kind of what I tend to see on social media. Another one is people tend to make like this long list of things they want to accomplish. And like, I was watching a video, and it was satire, like this girl is going through like marking off like parts of them to make it things she like met. So like it would say like drink less coffee, and she'd mark out less. So it would be like drink coffee, or eat healthy food, and then just got rid of like the second word, so it just said eat. So part of the problem is if you set too many goals, it makes it really difficult to focus on one thing. And that can be something for either health related goals and New Year's resolutions, or I would say this also does transition over into training goals. So for me personally, I really would like to be able to go out and run a half marathon tomorrow. I also know from personal experience that that's how I injured myself in the past. So sometimes what people do is they put so many different goals down that they can't properly focus on them and they're not going to give them the time and attention they need. So those are kind of the big reasons why I'm not a fan of the true, like, what we think of as New Year's resolutions, and why I'm kind of taking this different approach this year of saying, okay, each month I'm going to set a few small goals. These are things I want to work on. And why I chose the things I want to work on and not a specific training goal. So I think by having like a training app or program, like I can have built-in goals of like meeting those workouts, versus with these resolutions, I'm kind of looking at things not related to training this year. Or at least right now. So I'm looking more health focused right now, because I think that's what should be a bigger focus for me. I had my blood work done back at the beginning of November, and everything was normal except 3 things. One, I don't know what it is anymore. Not a doctor. I just read the results. My doctor's not concerned, so like I'm not super concerned, but I'm like, okay, like if I can do some things to maybe help this and make sure like it doesn't become a concern in the future. So one of them could be related to too low protein intake, which is not a surprise. I'm pescatarian. I eat vegetarian a lot. I just don't like much vegetarian protein, and so I'm trying to learn new sources. So I'm cooking tofu. I'm actually planning to make tofu stir fry tomorrow. And then I do have a bean dish my sister sent me the recipe for, but I need to buy the stuff to make it, so that might be like a next week thing. And then another one, my vitamin D is low, so I take a supplement for that. And then the last one though is that my cholesterol was high. And this actually is not the first time this has happened. The last couple times I was tested, like not an issue, but it was a few years back. I did have high cholesterol once before. And because I have a family history of heart disease, I know that I probably have some genetic predisposition to high cholesterol, because I don't eat a lot of foods that are high in cholesterol to begin with, as far as I know. I mean, I don't eat red meat at all. So for me, I'm like, okay, like, what can help with that? Well, one of the things that I believe is good for your cholesterol is to get in plenty of fiber, which I probably don't, because I don't like fruits and vegetables. So a couple of the fruits I chose, so apples and blueberries, are actually good sources of fiber. So just kind of trying to make those small changes to help with my overall health, and then hopefully that overall health will have me feeling good and spill over some into good quality training. I mean, hydration is super important to any level of activity. Eating fruits and vegetables, getting in micronutrients. I probably miss a lot of micronutrients a lot of times because I don't eat fruits and vegetables a lot. I like some. I mean, I have Brussels sprouts down in the oven right now, but I just don't like that many of them, and they can be a pain to cook. So I'm just trying to do those small things to improve my overall health, and I'm hoping that by setting these small goals every 3 months or every month instead of listing out like 10 at once this year will help me be able to focus on them more and really build better habits, rather than becoming overwhelmed by all these things that I want to do. And like I said, it's not that my goals are not training related at all right now. It's just that in terms of setting these specific goals that I'm going to focus on and kind of track for the next month, I think that these overall health related ones are more important of a priority. While as far as training, I just focus on getting the workouts that are written in. And for once today, I actually did that. Went on a run. It was great. Stayed in zone 2. Zone 2 is really slow for me right now. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on New Year's resolutions. I don't have an issue with them if you make them. I just want people, when they do make them, to be realistic. Don't feel bad if you don't complete something in the first month, and to give yourself some grace and make sure that you are setting goals that are realistic and attainable, but they can still be a challenge. I will admit, for me, I don't like fruits and vegetables. Or I mean, I like some. I don't like them enough. I did eat carrots with hummus earlier because I was hungry, and it was not that satisfying. I'm actually having quite a few vegetables today though, because I had a spinach and tomato sandwich earlier for lunch. Didn't have lunch until after my run. And then I had carrots and hummus as a snack because I was really hungry, and now I have Brussels sprouts in the oven with my potato for dinner. So I'm going to end this video here. Happy New Year, and if you did like this, please go down and hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and I will be back with more training related content in the next one.